So we already made a video talking about one of these guys earlier in the week. It was 5 days ago when we made this video talking about Edmonton Oilers D-man Evan Bouchard and how bad he was to start the year. It was pretty scary for fans like myself who happen to have Bouchard in fantasy hockey, because this guy was not scoring to open up the 2025-2026 season. But yesterday, playing for the Edmonton Oilers against the Ottawa Senators, Evan Bouchard finally got himself his first point on the year, an assist on Connor McDavid's first goal of the season as well. Now, it took him a really long time. Took him long enough, right? 7 games into the year to get 1 point on the season. Man, is that a really, really slow start for Edmonton's Evan Bouchard. But I wanted to refer to a video posted by the Spittin' Chicklets account on Twitter, wherein Paul Bissonnette straight up calls out Evan Bouchard for not being a $10.5 million defenseman. And for the most part, he goes out there and says in this video that Bouchard wouldn't be nearly as productive or as highly paid if he weren't riding the coattails of McDavid and Draisaitl and the Oilers' power play. Now, in typical Chicklets fashion, you've got Ryan Whitney going out there and defending the Oilers and Evan Bouchard. He goes out there and essentially says that Bouchard is a talented defenseman, maybe not worth 10.5, but he's a guy that was going to get maybe $11 million on an offer sheet from the Carolina Hurricanes, so it was a reasonable idea for Edmonton to sign him to that money. Whether or not he's worth it, that's another question, but circumstances be damned, there was a chance he would have gotten offer sheeted by Carolina, so they had to lock him up quick. Now, Bissonnette's main idea in the video is that if Evan Bouchard was not playing on McDavid and Draisaitl's power play, he would be around a 45 to 50 point NHL defenseman. And that is a really interesting number. I think if you weren't playing with McDavid and Draisaitl, maybe that's a little low. I do still think that Bouchard is capable of being one of the best offensive defensemen in the game, despite the fact that his foot speed, his defensive acumen, and his off-puck play leave a lot to be desired. Even though that may be the case, I do still think that Evan Bouchard is a reasonably good defenseman who would probably be more in the 60 points a year territory, more so rather than 80. He can be a very productive defenseman, but it all depends on the guys in front of him, and we know in the playoffs, he'll always come alive there. But this season especially, I do wonder where things are going to go, and how production is going to stabilize heading into the next few weeks. Obviously, I care, because I have him on fantasy hockey teams, but Evan Bouchard with 1 point in 7 games definitely is not in the production territory that we want to see. McDavid, he wasn't really starting out all too hot either. It took him so long to get a goal. He's been deferring, he's been passing, he hasn't really been shooting it much himself. So I question if McDavid starts to get a little bit more production up there. Do you see Evan Bouchard's numbers rise as a result of that too? It certainly is a dynamic they have in Edmonton that we cannot deny exists, but ultimately it has gotten off to a slow start, which opens the door for more discussion on what these players are really about. So yeah, Evan Bouchard, 80-point defenseman without McDavid and Draisaitl. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And is he worth $10.5 million? Bissonnette's going out there and saying absolutely not. I think a lot of us were also surprised when Bouchard signed that deal. It's Bouchard and Nurse, really, the big paid defenseman over there in Edmonton. The new core four, you can say. Nurse, Bouchard, McDavid, and Draisaitl. That's certainly something that I didn't think we would ever hear, but still, it's there. Now, I wanted to shift gears here and start talking about the New York Rangers as well, because not only was Evan Bouchard called out by Paul Bissonnette, but you've also got a really interesting sentiment that I've been seeing the past little while in regards to New York Rangers captain JT Miller. And it's not Paul Bissonnette going out there and calling this guy out. It's seemingly Rangers fans. 2 days ago, the New York Rangers played off against the Minnesota Wild, and they ended up losing They lost 3-1. It wasn't really a good game. And you had Rangers captain JT Miller going out there and speaking to the media after the fact, saying we have to find a way to bear down in those tight 2-1 games when, let's be honest, we didn't deserve to win. But that was a game we could have stolen. It's happened to us so far. Not good enough, we know that. Turn the page and move on to the next one. So, this is a pretty standard JT Miller interview clip where he goes out there and takes accountability. He talks about how the team isn't good enough and how they need to be able to clamp things down and they need to be able to close games out. But all the responses in this JT Miller video are really, really interesting. 1 for 1, please trade Miller to Anaheim. Please get Trouba, Vetrano, and Strome back. Worst captain in franchise history. He's a selfish... Okay, I'm not going to go out there and say that. Is he going to start playing like he cares, or no? I don't know what's worse, Nickelback's attempt in music or this comment section. Did JT Miller tank 2 franchises? Hey guys, Vancouver here. I'm sorry. Here we go again. Same BS interview as always. It wasn't good enough. We have to be better. It's been all talk for 3 years now. Maybe Miller should look at his own play. Canucks fan here. Don't mind me. I'm just here for the comments. Sounds a lot like yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. Oh, the New York Rangers won the trade. Imagine how much worse this would all look if Schaefer wasn't playing out of his mind. This guy is not a captain. JT hasn't found his whipping boy yet. And, yeah. There are so many replies, so many folks in the comment section spewing negativity towards their captain JT Miller that I just kind of wonder, is this going to be the status quo heading into the next few years here? The guy is signed on for quite a while. He's already in his 30s, and JT Miller is on the books with the New York Rangers until 2030 exactly. So he's got a lot more time to settle in as the captain of the New York Rangers. He's at half a point a game right now, 4 points in 8 games. He's been more productive in the past, I will say. Obviously, the 100-point season stands out. But with the Rangers not winning and fans getting all ticked off, I just kind of sit here as a Vancouver Canucks fan and say, man, Miller would have been so much better if he just stayed in Vancouver. If only he patched things up with Elias Pettersson. We wouldn't have seen this entire thing go down and Vancouver implode in on itself by losing P.S. Suter and having to play Atu Ratu in the top 6. What could have been, right? Well, my voice is starting to hurt. I have COVID after all. I already mentioned in the previous video that I'm positive. It's why I'm talking like this. But if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you did not, the dislike button is down there for you as well. Comments help out with the algorithm, so I'd appreciate it if you got involved and let me know your thoughts in the comment section about Evan Bouchard, his play in Edmonton, as well as New York Rangers fans really salting it up on JT Miller, captain of the New York Rangers, on social media. Does he deserve the hate? Is he being criticized too harshly? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.